another new video here for you. This is Tuned In Sports, back with another video. More exciting action. We got Week 2 NFL review coming at you. My name is Bryson.
Steve. And I'm Don.
And today, unfortunately, my brother could not join us. He was feeling a little bit under the weather, so he's not going to be in this video. However, he did leave a little summarization of his thoughts on the Bengals' performance today. And, I got to tell you, just from the little bit of it I read, it's a dandy. So with that being said, the Lions, they have their game tomorrow night, which is going to be the Monday Night Football game. There will be a separate review for that game, specifically just because we really, really want to dissect it and get into that game and just look at it from all angles.
Yeah, it's the game of the week, so.
Exactly. So we really want to.
We'll be tearing it apart.
Yeah.
Exactly. Amongst other things.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. We're really going to be getting into that one, just taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, though, we're going to talk about the Eagles and the Broncos and the Bengals and all their wonderful performances this week. We'll go ahead and start with the Bengals since my brother's not here. And just quickly, I'll go ahead and start by reading his synopsis of the game. So, just imagine I've got that Joe Burrow jersey on. But anyway, his thoughts on the game. He said, my opinion of how the Bengals performed today. It was pretty horrid throughout most of it, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Couldn't move the ball, couldn't block anyone. The good thing about today, I would say, was definitely the defense. They kept us in the game throughout all of it. The offense played a little bit better in the second half, scored 2 touchdowns. Besides that, it was pretty much non-existent. So, that was pretty much his breakdown of the game. And honestly, that's kind of how I felt about it too. Seemed like the defense was doing a good job keeping them in it, but this just wasn't Burrow's best game. I know he had a couple of interceptions and, just kind of seemed like they were struggling to get things flowing. I know, on numerous times I saw a couple guys dropping balls too. It just seemed like the offense was out of flow today, and I think it also didn't help that the running game really kind of struggled. And I think really, the offense in general, but I think really it started with the offensive line, having a difficult game and a difficult task against the Bears' defensive line, because the Bears are always stout, in that department. So I'm not surprised that they were able to have much success on the ground. And as a result, once they got kind of predictable, then the Bears were able to pretty much just do what they wanted on defense. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a situation where the Bears played that much better. I don't think either team really looked that good, but the Bears just happened to do enough to win the game. But I don't think that, if you're a Bears fan, that you're watching this saying, wow, that was, a fantastic win or anything. It was just like, boy, we survived that one. So anyways, I think for the Bengals, they still got some work to do. Unfortunately, you're going to have these games where, Burrow's going to struggle or the running game's not going to work. But the fact that their defense stepped up in the absence of the offense, that's a good sign for them, I think. And hopefully they can keep that going moving forward, because I think the number of games where they're going to have these struggles on offense, it'll be a lot less than basically just saying I think this will be more of a once in a while thing, not the norm, where they can't get more than 17 points up. Because Lord knows I'm an expert at that. I know all about what 17 points on the board looks like, and what I see on the Bengals and what I saw with the Eagles last year and today, generally two different things. So yeah, but that's all I got to say about that game.
I kind of see it. Obviously, the Bengals didn't have a very good day. They are playing one of the better defenses in the league, so if you're going to struggle, you're going to struggle against that type of defense. The question I have is that the last time we see Andy Dalton for the season? You know, Fields came in, got a victory. That usually means, you know, oh, he won that game, so let's start on the next one. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's time yet, but with the pressure that's, you know, the coaches are under, especially, I mean, in my opinion, Chicago's kind of in a need to win now because, I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot of
Nagy supporters.
yeah, I mean, I think he's on the hot
leash is
seat.
short.
Yeah, he's on the short leash, and if they don't start winning, then I think he's going to press the button sooner than later on rolling with this new kid, because this is his opportunity to maybe buy himself some time if he doesn't play well. Like, okay, well, hey, we're starting a new kid.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, it's just.
But that usually ends up if it doesn't work out, you're fired. You know what I mean? That's the way that usually works.
But I think,
it's
I
hit or
mean,
miss.
overall though, I think Fields probably gives him a better chance because of his mobility, to at least, you know, maybe extend plays a little bit more. I mean, I like Dalton. I don't think he's a bad quarterback whatsoever. He's just kind of in one of those situations where wrong place.
Sneak bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a kid lying in wait for your job, and it's going to happen sooner than later, probably. So that would be the only thing, you know, with that. But it's like I said, I like Andy Dalton. I wish him the best if it ends up going the wrong way. But anyway, but yeah, I kind of see it like you do. I think the Bengals will be all right. It's just one of those games where things weren't clicking on all cylinders, and for Joe Burrow or for Mixon to have, you know, basically, what was it, 20 carries?
20 carries for 69.
20 carries for 69 yards. I mean, I would have figured if you get him 20 carries, he's going to rush for over 100 in most cases. So, a little
It's
off.
nice that they stayed, you know, they stuck to it. They didn't just abandon it. They definitely tried.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, this team is much improved. If this game would have happened 2 years ago, who knows what the score ends up. You know, honestly. And I mean, the fact that they came back, similar to the Lions, they came back in the fourth quarter, really, to get these scores, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, they were down by, I think, 10 points going into the fourth, and then I think they had a turnover that helped them one of the times, and then the other one they went down the field and got a touchdown, or flip-flop that. They went down and got a field goal, and then they got a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it was a turnover first, and then that.
So,
But nonetheless, they stayed in it.
You know, I mean, again, we talk about, you know, keep the fight, you know, don't just throw the towel in. So that was good to see for Bengals fans. So yeah, overall, they lost the game, but I don't know that it's really a negative on what the direction of the team is. So that's good.
No, like I said, it was just a bad game for the Bengals.
Yeah.
For the Bears, this is, you know, again, they're eerily similar to the Broncos the last 5 years. This is a typical game because the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
That they should be with that defense, you know, killing people if they have any type of offensive presence. With Dalton, he started off with a hell of a game. He was 9 for 11, had a touchdown. He had almost 119 passer rating.
Yeah.
So this is one of, I'm sure he earmarked it too as a Bengal game. So, you know, he wanted to serve a little revenge on them too as well, which was good. And then of course the injury happened, and then, you know, Fields did the typical, you know, Bronco quarterback where I'm just gonna flail and flail and flail and let the defense take care of business, and then they just happened to win. Because he came in and was 6 for 13 with an interception. He had a 27.7 QBR. So the scary thing about that is that you figure that normally if they don't have a game plan for like players like this, they usually excel and just go off the chart. So now if they actually have film on them and they're going to game plan for him for the next game, it could be more trouble for Mr. Fields. And again, he's a rookie. Just like all rookies, you're not going to come into the league and normally light it up on fire, unless he does it with his legs, and unless he does a Lamar Jackson type thing, which he got 31 yards on 10 rushes for himself and that. But you know, again, just on the flip side, just like Burrow, same thing. You know, he really hasn't even had a full year yet either. So this was a typical Drew Lock type performance. Threw 2 touchdowns but 3 picks. One of them was for 6.
Yeah.
So again, consistency out of that position once Burrow gets a little better at it. Because again, this is only his handful of games, right? I mean, probably under 10.
Yeah.
I'd say. So again, he still has, I think, kind of the rookie stripe on him too as well.
Yeah.
But again, similar to what I think in the preview, I think like I said, it was kind of a toss-up, and that's kind of what it ended up at the end.
Yeah.
Was pretty much a toss-up, and whoever had the ball last, and that was the result.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would agree.
Yeah, nothing too exciting there. And the level of excitement's not about to change because, we're going to talk about the Eagles next. And for the most part, this game was kind of a snooze fest. If you're really into defensive showcases, well, then you had a blast. If you're into watching teams run up and down the field, well, you had a blast for a couple of seconds, but every time that there was a blast, it got taken back by a penalty or something stupid. With the Eagles game today, they lost to the 49ers, which, even though I picked the Eagles in the preview, it was more so me being a fan than it was being realistic, because, I honestly thought that the 49ers would win. I just really was hoping that the Eagles could pull some magic off and pull one out for the fans, the home fans in their home opener. But with that being said, the game kind of went how a lot of people maybe saw it going. To open up the game, I feel like the Eagles did some good things. They came out quick and fast, got a quick 3 points on the board. The defense in the first half was playing outstanding against the Niners. They really were not moving the ball at all. And then, you combine that with, what's that the punter's name for the Eagles? It's like Sipos. That's it.
Yeah.
Sipos.
I'll take the S, Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, exactly. So you combine Sipos's, incredible punting. I mean, once again, this guy is a rookie, and same thing. Every time he kicked the ball, it was like pinning him deep, pretty much. So what a freaking pick we got with that Sipos guy. But nonetheless, we did pretty well for a while on defense. Offense, we went down, had this huge play to Jalen Reagor down the field for a touchdown. Gets called back because he got pushed out of bounds while he was running down the sideline. So that was taken off the board. And of course, so what do? We, still managed to move it down the field a little bit, line up for a field goal, and it gets blocked. So we get nothing out of that. Then, of course, true Eagles fashion, I'm sitting here saying to myself, like, man, oh man, it's only going to be a number of stops here before the 49ers wake up and start scoring. And if our offense isn't doing anything, we're going to lose this game. And we're going to have, eventually they're going to start moving the ball. And that's exactly what happened. Pretty much the very next possession, 49ers went right down the field right before halftime, scored a touchdown. And then, second half, just more of the same. I think the 49ers only had 3 possessions in the whole, 4 if you include when they got the ball and just kneeled it. But apart from that, I think they had 4 possessions. One of them lasted 9 minutes or something stupid in the third quarter. And, the defense couldn't get off the field. When the offense was on the field, they couldn't do anything. And then, I got my Carson Wentz jersey on because much like last year, I'm seeing some of the stuff that I was seeing last year, rearing its ugly head again this year. We're in a point where we really need points. And I don't know if the coach got kind of worried because of that blocked field goal, but we're sitting there on the goal line. It's 4th and goal. It's been a defensive showcase the whole day. We had an opportunity to kick 3. Instead, we went for it on 4th and goal. Didn't get it. Zip for the whole thing. We went like we started the drive on the 90. Not the 90. Excuse me. On the 3-yard line, our own 3-yard line, went all the way down the field. And a great pass to Quez Watkins. I think it was like a 90-yard pass, as a matter of fact, to Quez Watkins. Got it all the way down there. Decided to go for it on 4th down. Get stuffed. 49ers get the ball, go the whole way, and score a touchdown. And mostly that was because we get all the way down there, and some bimbos in the end zone are, doing pass interference. And, a guy completely hugs the dude as they throw him the ball on 3rd down. Would have been 4th and goal, would have held them to a field goal unless they wanted to go for it. But no, instead they get a fresh set of downs. Good luck. You're not going to hold them out of there. George Kittle, all these different guys. And then on top of that, the penalty put him on the 1-yard line. So it's like QB draw. What are you going to do? So that was frustrating. And then, it's just then the Eagles get the ball back. They go down the field and score. Touchdown. Yay. So exciting. But then, the ensuing drive for the 49ers, they basically, they go out there, they fumble the ball twice, and both ones get taken off because of penalties of some sort by the Eagles. One of them was because of one of them, I believe, was too many men on the field, and I think the other one was pass interference or something like that. But, nonetheless, it was like 2 huge plays. One of them was an interception by Darius Slay, taken off, and the other one, I believe, was a fumble. Yeah, it was a fumble by the Trey Sermon, the Ohio State running back, that got his 1 carry and went out with an injury on the same play. So, but that one was a fumble, picked up by Darius Slay, actually, and then the other one, I believe, was an interception. Both got taken off the board, and, at the end of the day, we just never really got another opportunity at it. The 49ers just killed the clock, and, we made it within, I think, 6 points. We went down there when we scored the touchdown, and we went for 2, which, again, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, they literally said, if you get the 2 here, you're down by 6, and so if we just kick this thing, we're down by 7. I just don't understand what is the logic in going for 2 right there. If you get it, then you're down by 6 as opposed to 7. Yay, but who cares? If you wanted to go for 2, you could just go for 2 when you have the touchdown already and then take the lead at that point. Why do we need to do this and put ourselves in a situation where if we miss it, then we need a 2-point conversion to tie it? You know what I mean? If you want to go for 2 once you're going to tie the game or win it. Which, again, I don't know if I would have agreed with that either, but I'm just saying, in comparison, why are we doing it here when it could have cost us the game? Because, like I said, if they would have missed this and it's 17-9, well, now we need the touchdown and the 2-point conversion or we lose. Whereas otherwise, we don't get it or whatever. Okay, well, we're tied. And at least we're going to overtime or something. So even though we got it, yay us, I still am not a fan of that call. There was just, and again, like I said before, going for it on 4th and goal there, just because why? You felt like you needed some momentum or something? Well, when the winner of this game had 17 points, I'm sorry, but I don't think that we need to be going for momentum. You need to take the points when you can get them. And not like, oh, well, we feel like we can really get it. We liked what we saw in that last package. Well, I didn't like what I saw in the last package. Otherwise, we would have been in the end zone. Mm-hmm. So, as far as that's concerned, it's just frustrating to see stuff like this. And I'm not going to sit here and get all pissed off and start screaming and yelling about this game because, to be honest with you, we played them tough, and at no point did they just really dominate us. We played a really good game, but it's just a few things here or there, and we won. And the other thing is it took us forever coming out of halftime to get anything going offensively. So the offensive adjustments, I would have liked to see a little bit more, changing it up or something. I don't know. do something to try to get yourself on the board. But we weren't really able to do that until, fourth quarter, 5 minutes to go when we had to have the score. That was when we got our touchdown. So, I mean, and granted, the 49ers were just milking clock like crazy on us in the second half. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's not so much that I'm upset at how we played. It's just that a couple of things here or there could have made the difference. And the fact that we're sitting here with a loss instead of, if we could have just maybe changed this or that, took points when we needed to, not screwed around and effed up a frickin' field goal. I mean, listen, if he's worried about the field goal unit, how often do block punts happen? Not very often. Now, should it have happened? No. But what are the chances that it happens 2 times in a row? And the other thing is that the first time they attempted the field goal, they were pretty far back. But the second time, it was in goal distance. So he's basically kicking an extra point. That's all you're asking of him. And we got Jake Elliott, who I believe is pretty good. I mean, last year he had a few slumps here or there, but in the past he's been really, really consistent for us. So, and he's not like a Matt Prater guy where get him inside of 50 and you got problems. He's pretty consistent. He's pretty consistent no matter where we're standing. So I'm just saying, like, if you're worried about that, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, you're asking him to go out there and basically make an extra point. And those points could have mattered, especially at that point in the game. We really needed those points then. And it just felt like the momentum was on the Niners' side the whole second half, because instead of us doing the right play, we were just trying to get fancy with it and, let's try and, catch them off guard. Oh, and then the other thing is, too, is when we went for it on that fourth down and goal, guess what we did? Instead of doing, the usual thing, right? Like, okay, well, let's have the quarterback do a draw out or something like that. We did the Philly special where we had our wide receiver throwing the football on the play. And if it works, great, but at the end of the day, I want the ball in the hands of the quarterback. That's what you're paying him for. And if he wants to try to make something happen, I can live with that. But this guy that happened to play some quarterback in high school and can throw it once in a while, trying to do some fancy trick play on 4th and goal, it's like, if we're going for it, I don't want a trick play. That's not what I want to see. I want to see us line up. I would have been happier if we had lined up in the I formation and ran it and said, hey, we're going to try to have our big guys beat their big guys and get in that way. Not some trick play where hopefully they don't catch on to what you're doing. I mean, I don't agree with going for it anyway, but if you're going to, let's run some actual offense here. Not some like, okay, we're going to have this guy that is in the league as a wide receiver who played a little bit of quarterback in high school, throw some pass to hopefully get something and catch them off guard. I don't want to see that. So, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Eagles, really are played horrible and stuff like that, or that I'm super pissed off that we lost. I'm disappointed that we lost because I feel like this is a game we could have won. But overall, there was just little things here or there that if we could have done differently, we probably could have won this game. I mean, we were not out of it, and at no point was it just, like, over. I mean, we were in it the whole game, and our defense played more than well enough to give us multiple chances. I mean, we literally had multiple huge plays taken away from us by stupid mistakes with penalties and stuff. And when you do that kind of stuff, it just like so deflating as a fan. I mean, I literally watched a guy catch the ball in the end zone for the Eagles like 3 times today, and none of them counted as a touchdown. Every one of them got yanked back for something. And it's like, oh man, talk about a roller coaster. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, touchdown. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, oh no, that got blocked. I mean, it's like, good God, please, stop doing this to me. So anyway, that's all I got to say about the Eagles. But I mean, it was kind of a disappointing game that we lost. But overall, I'm not too upset. Good performance by the Eagles, and a couple of the receivers and stuff played pretty well today. And Hurts, outside of one 90-yard bomb, he struggled throwing the ball a little bit. But, he made things happen with his feet and tried to make up for the fact that there wasn't many people open. So, I'll give him credit for trying. But, and last thing is that the Niners are just a better team. I mean, that's just what it is. The Niners are the better team. So that's why I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, man, this is an embarrassing showing. I mean, they're the better team. They're way better than we are. And the fact that we put up a good performance against them is honestly a tribute to our team and how we were able to perform. I'm happy. I just wish we could have done a few things here, there, and won. So, but anyway, sorry.
No, it's all right. I was able to see a portion of this game. We actually had it on at the work today, so I would agree. I kind of felt like the Eagles were shooting themselves in the foot more than that the Niners were outplaying them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It was really a comedy of errors, really. Like you said, I mean, every time you turn around, somebody's catching a ball for a big play, and holding, or
yeah.
Or whatever the case was. And then when they had the field goal blocked, and then you see the guy pick it up, and he's running towards, looks like he's going to get to the first down mark and comes up just short. You're like,
Dallas Goedert. Heads up play by him to try it, but
he was
just short.
I love when he first got it, too. He stiff-armed that guy right off the bat and like sent him to the ground.
Yeah.
That was really cool, but no, kind of a tough one to swallow, really. But I'm kind of in the same camp as you. Like, I think there's a lot of positives to take away from today, really. The Niners, I don't think a whole lot of people were expecting the Eagles to win this game anyway. So, I mean, from that standpoint, the fact that, you had multiple chances really to own the game and to win it is good. And I think moving forward, it's gonna be a good thing for you. I think they'll probably learn something from this loss and hopefully watch some film. Unlike the last management group.
We'll see, that's part of the systems.
I was going to say.
But yeah.
We'll see what the systems are.
No, but I liked it. I watched some of that, and I thought the defense really looks pretty damn good, honestly. I mean, and I think, again, who did they lose, though? Didn't they have somebody that somebody's out for the season, I think?
Yeah, they lost.
Matthews?
No. It was Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham has a MCL tear, and we lost him for the season. So that's not going to be good because he's a pretty big piece of the puzzle there. Yeah, no, he's really good. So very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that happened. I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of injuries today.
Yeah.
All around the league.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of people going down.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I mean, maybe that'll help some of these teams like mine that, are kind of hurting. Maybe that'll kind of even the playing field with some of them. if we can keep ourselves healthy.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, my closing statement on the Eagles is, although it was a loss, it was still a pretty good showing by the team. And I don't think they'll be holding their heads down too long. I think they're going in the right direction here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, as for me, I didn't get to see too much. Of course, my team was playing on a 10 o'clocker, so that pretty much eliminated my viewing of this game. Normally, I would probably watch it, but again, from what I'm hearing and what I saw, this is one of the games from last year.
Yeah.
Or year before. I mean, this is the typical, Doug Peterson type game where it's, low scoring and making huge mistakes and not being ready, prepared with it, because you shouldn't have those mistakes. And then, giving up a 9-minute drive in the near the end of the game, that's a killer, because that just, again, your defense is playing lights out already. And then you have them stick out there for 9 minutes at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of tough to do. So, and it's kind of a raw deal for them.
Yeah.
You're like, why can't the offense stay on the field instead of 3 and outs and whatever is happening during that time to help them?
Yeah.
Because they are playing, really good baseball on that side. So, but again, you're going against San Francisco. As we sit right now, they seem to be pretty good, even though they haven't shown it. I mean, they started off really hot against Detroit, but then they let Detroit back in, and then they have a game with this. So, is San Francisco?
Yeah.
Who are they? I mean,
It's hard to gauge it.
Yeah, exactly.
Watched.
Are they good and they just have a lapse, or are they kind of just mediocre and just happen to catch certain plays and things? We'll see as we go.
Did Lance get in the game much? I didn't happen to see him on the
play at
field.
all.
No, he had 0.
No, he didn't. He never was in.
Yeah, I was
he
gonna
was
say I
never
didn't
in.
recall seeing him on the field at all today, but
Yeah.
But then, like you said, if you take the 90-yard pass play from Hurts, I mean, he only had 100 yards passing.
Yeah.
That's
no,
not
exactly.
good. You can't win.
No.
With only 100 yards, but he did, have 82 on the ground.
Yeah.
So that makes up for some of it, including the touchdown. But again, I think Philadelphia was game. They just can't do this because again, I think that creeps in nightmares from previous years, and that might be something they might go down if games keep continuing to do this. Hopefully, this is just the one and done.
Yeah.
And they'll pick it back up once they play a different team.
Yeah, they're playing the Cowboys next
Next week, so we'll see. I mean, that'll be another high-powered offense. So
it'll
we'll see what they do.
It would be interesting to see, like, kind of why, or I guess when they break down the film, they're obviously going to be able to pinpoint why it was so bad.
You hope.
Like, was it a situation where the receivers aren't getting any separation, or was it Hurts not having, like, he's not seeing the field, or is it because the offensive line was not good and the defense was in the backfield with him, so he's got his running gear on and just, going to the races maybe too soon? I watched, like I said, I was able to see a portion of this game, but not enough to really sit there and analyze what was going on.
I would guess probably a little bit of everything. Because to me, again, speaking from past, before we actually had some receivers, that was the thing that the quarterback would be fighting, but there's no one open, so the receivers don't get open.
Right.
If the receivers don't get open, then you have no chance. If you watch an Eagles game like this versus like Arizona today, those receivers for Arizona were just everywhere. I mean, they were just breaking free in separation from everybody. Where I think, again, like I said, I've seen this before in Denver where you might be able to break out of it, but then nobody can get free. They're covered.
Yeah.
And you can't throw it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of look at it like, the good thing is that Hurts was making heads up plays at least on his feet to where he wasn't throwing the ball all over it in trouble in harm's way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I like that piece of it.
He took care of the ball today.
Because and to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons they were in the game, is because he wasn't making stupid plays.
Yep.
He was relying on his defense to keep him in, and then obviously they just, between all the penalties and the crazy plays that happened, they weren't able to get it done. I would agree. 100 yards, you're not going to win a game passing for 100 yards, or if you are, you got to really question who the hell were you playing, right? So, but
like I said before, we're talking about the Niners here, and they got solid defensive line, and honestly, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Bosa was non-existent, but it wasn't like a situation where he's being mentioned on every play. The offensive line, granted, I'll definitely say that there was some things that could have been better, but I'm also not going to say that they were just horrible today. We had 151 yards rushing on 29 attempts. For the most part, the offensive line was doing a decent job today. In some respects, kind of like you said, I felt like there was plays where Hurts was assuming that he was going to be under duress and kind of booking it before he needed to. I don't know if that's something that needs to be addressed. I feel like when he does that, he takes half the field out of play before maybe it needs to be. I mean, because then if he's scrambling to the right, well, you only got the people that's on the right, because he's not going to then turn around and throw it to the left. So the guys that are on the left are immediately taken out of the play without maybe that needing to be the case. And, there was some plays where guys were getting open and stuff, and, maybe he could have thrown a better pass. For a good portion of the game, I felt like a lot of the receivers were pretty blanketed. But then there was also plays where he'd make a big pass and someone was holding, So, I mean, it was just a myriad of different things. And honestly, like in the second half, they were on the field so infrequently that it's hard to tell what adjustments were being made because they were never on the field. It was all Niners. I mean, if you just tuned into the game in the second half, you would, you'd think it was just like a, red team versus white team practice session or something. Like, oh, okay, the offense is going to go this way, then they're going to go that way, then they're going to go back that way. So, anyways, but, unfortunate that it happened this way, but, next week we got the Cowboys playing them in Dallas. Dallas looks like they're improved some from last season as well. Obviously, having Dak back has been a huge boost for them, and it should be an interesting game, but definitely look to see some improvements offensively if we hope to compete, because I think this is going to be another situation where if we're struggling on offense against the Cowboys, it's only going to be so long before they start scoring points on us and we just fall behind, much like we saw last season and what we saw in today's game. So, anyways, enough about this team. Let's move on to the the Broncos, who actually
Same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. America's team.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Broncos, the only team so far that actually won their game this week.
Woo.
And they were taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And from what I saw, bit of a nightmare to beat Trevor Lawrence today. I just like I said in the preview, I felt like if Denver was able to continue to perform like they have on offense, then I think that Trevor Lawrence was going to be seeing some of those rookie mistakes, and there definitely was a few, and it was kind of a wake-up call for him, like, wow, this is what it's like to play a real defense out there. And unfortunately for Jacksonville, I think they're kind of in the same situation as like the Eagles, where for one, they were playing against the better team, and for two, when your offense isn't doing anything, then the defense is, going to have a hard time as well. So, good game by the Broncos there. Like we've talked about in past videos, I feel like a lot of times the mark of a team, or in some respects the mark of relevancy, is not how you compete against the cogs of the league, but can you take care of the teams that you're supposed to beat? And thus far they've been able to do that, and if they continue to do that, then that's going to bode well for them and give them a lot of confidence rolling into the teams that maybe they are supposed to struggle with. And like he said in other videos, I know they got the Ravens and the Steelers and the Raiders and different teams like that coming up, and the Browns. So once they get to those teams, then they're definitely going to have to step up their game and match to the level of those teams. But until then, they need to keep building, keep growing the what they got going on offense, and keep meshing well together. Let Teddy just keep doing what he's doing. I like how I saw numerous plays that he was able to extend plays with his feet today, which I feel like really kind of opens him up to what he's capable of, instead of like, okay, well, even though you can do that, we're going to keep you in the pocket. So it was nice to see that. I don't know if they were doing that in the first game, but I didn't notice it as much as I did in this game. So, great job by the Broncos. Took care of a Jaguars team that they were supposed to beat. On to the Jets next week, and speaking of rookie quarterbacks that are in for a difficult time next week, I think Zach Wilson, he's already...
He just got done with Belichick, now he gets to go to Fangio.
Yeah.
Talking about a bad luck scheduling.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, unfortunately for him, you know, I'm not ready to toss in the towel and say he's a roided up Johnny Manziel yet, like some people say, but
Mormon.
Mormon. That's right. Yeah. Mormon Johnny Manziel quite yet. I think he's got more talent than that. But with that being said, you know, he's definitely got his work cut out for him, and I think this is another game where Denver should just keep continuing on their roll. And great job by them.
Yeah, I thought the first possession from Jacksonville went right down and scored, and I was like, oh, we're in for a great weekend of football still from Saturday. But then eventually kind of woke up and then got things rolling, and then pretty much took control of the game. Jacksonville, though, I mean, I can see it as soon as Urban can get some talent. There's probably going to be a pretty good team going forward, and once Lawrence starts getting, you know, making the decisions correctly, where you hit the shorter guy, you know, instead of trying to fit it into windows, that he should take the open receiver and get it to him. They might be actually, you know, a pretty good team to contend with here down the road. But again, that's down the road. Right now, it's tough sledding in Jacksonville. But as you said, took care of business. Needed to do what they needed to do. Wish they could have got a little bit more touchdowns than field goals, but that's what happens. But at least they took the field goals instead of, you know, going forward on fourth and whatever and not making it, and then giving the other team momentum. So they were able to get it, you know, and score with it, and then put up 23 points. And then, of course, as always, our biggest glaring weakness besides the offense in the last 5 years is our special teams. So we score and put up 23-7, and then we give a kickoff return. I think we have the most over, I think, the last 5 years. It's like 5 or 6 that we've given up. So again, as always, our weak spot, and Mr. Ford from the Lions hasn't helped. He actually got a 15-yard unsportsmanlike for Tawny. I was like, nice.
Well,
thanks.
You got to realize he's not used to being able to cheer that much.
I know.
When he gets his opportunity, he's going to be all over.
So I was sitting like this going, damn it, what do you expect, right? You know, that's on it. But all in all, good performance by the Broncos. Get the home opener next week against the Jets, so hopefully they don't let Mr. Wilson go off. I think, you know, he's kind of used to altitude.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's going to be too big for him because he played at BYU, so he's used to playing higher elevations. But we'll see. Like I said, we have to contain him, and we'll see what happens. But I'm very pleased with the first 2 weeks. And Teddy's done an Alex Smith type job, which is exactly what he needs to do. And he probably would have provided a little bit better if they would have made a couple more completions down the field that he tried to launch. Just wasn't able to hook up with the players. But Sutton went off for almost 160 today. Again, should have probably had a little bit more. So that's nice that the number one is starting to get into game form. So as we go forward, then it'll be nice to have to get those weapons going with the tight ends and everybody on it. And he was able to spread it around to many receivers today. I think I have 9 targets that he was able to complete today. So that means, you know, Teddy's going through what he normally does, the progressions, and making the right decision.
Yeah.
That's on it.
No, and this is exactly what you knew you were going to get with him.
Yep.
You know, he's going to make the safe play, not going to make the dumb one. Even though they were field goals, there's still points.
Yep.
You know, opposed to where maybe last year it turns into an interception or a turnover or something.
Yep.
You know, where it's going the other way. This turns into 3 points, which just tacks on more. You know, and when you got a defense like you have, good luck. So I mean, that's a wonderful thing. I wasn't able to see. They didn't really show too many highlights of that game that I could see. But I mean, what a nice young nucleus of players they got there right now, and especially defensively too. I mean, Surtain, I'm sure that guy's gonna be a beast.
He got his first interception today. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, man, that's the right people at the right time. I think for Denver, and I'm really curious to see you know, if things keep going in this direction for them and they keep winning games like this, you know, I mean, when they get into crunch time, if what's his name keeps playing well, if Bridgewater keeps playing well, I don't think you should get rid of him. Like, I mean, I realize Rodgers is a special guy, but if I'm winning and you win a Super Bowl with Bridgewater, I'm not bringing him in.
Yeah, if it goes that far, I don't think you can.
No, I mean,
there's no way to throw it around. But I mean, if they make it to the playoffs, I think he has consideration. Then I think it's up to Teddy.
yeah.
I think, hey, do you want to stay here and play, and then have a potential that you might be taking a backseat to Rodgers? I mean,
Yeah.
he took a backseat to Breeze,
Yeah.
so he might say yes.
I mean,
the-
yeah, at this point
The
in his
team
career,
gels around him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And everybody loves playing for the guy already, and this is only the second week. You can just tell the team has a admiration for Teddy with
yeah,
it.
they've got confidence in him.
Yeah.
Like we just said, that he
Yeah.
makes the right plays.
Yeah, there was I think Vaughn was mic'd up last week against the Giants, and he said, you know, he actually told Teddy, he's like, I haven't had a feeling like this since 18 was here. So that tells you,
Yeah.
you know, that we already knew the garbage that was there for the last 5 years with the circus, right, with the carousel. So to see him actually, you know, put that lofty of a comment,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for Teddy, that's huge, and
Yeah.
and I think that's great.
You can only imagine that what it does for his confidence level.
Yeah.
Because now he feels like, hey, these guys trust in me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he's going to go out and make the plays. And you know, today wasn't the most stellar offensive, you know, points wise,
Mhm.
but it was consistently like, hey, we're going down, we're going to get something out of this drive.
Yep.
We're not going to leave with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm a big fan of what they're doing there. I love it. I think it's great. And big supporter of Teddy. I just think it's cool that he's getting his opportunity. He was under a little fire initially from, you know, the fans of the other kid there, but you know, so far you can't complain.
I'm saying, you never asked me, I was going Teddy all the way
Yeah.
because of this.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't make the mistakes. He's gonna
Yeah.
take care of the ball and not make the turnover down in the red zone.
Yeah, no, I agree, and because you're not, I mean, you don't need to do a whole lot. to
No,
be
like I
successful.
always said, get the 24, right? Get
Yeah.
the 20. If you get in the 20s, you're gonna have a pretty good chance to win with the Broncos.
Yeah,
If you do that,
yeah,
no matter who they're playing.
yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, if you can give me 24 points, yeah, I like your chances.
Mhm.
If I know I'm getting there, I like their chances. I don't care who they're playing. Like you said, I mean, I like their chances. And I think it's only going to, in my opinion, barring injuries, of course,
Mhm.
but I think it's only going to get better as it continues to go forward. Because it's only going to get better from like a confidence standpoint for Bridgewater. He's going to get more and more comfortable with the system. You know, they need a couple of the young guys to step up,
Mhm.
you know, the running back and that,
Yeah.
you know, if he can get his ass rolling.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Williams did great today. I mean,
Yeah.
considering he had, there were some runs that he plowed through like 3 or 4 guys, and I was like, all right. But yeah, 64 yards and 4.9 average.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So he's going to do great. And actually, him and Gordon split
Mhm.
straight even 13 carries apiece.
Yeah.
And then he had, like I said, he had a 4.9 and Gordon had 2.4.
Mhm.
So you can tell that.
Yeah.
That, you know, the stuff's there. I'm not saying that Gordon had an 80-yarder last week, so again, it just depends on timing and playing and situation where it's at.
Yep.
Because again, I'm not
Well,
going to throw Gordon into the trash.
No,
you know,
hell
it's all
no.
with it because he's
No.
pretty damn solid, which last week showed that too. So.
Yeah, no, when he's healthy, he's good.
Yeah.
When he's healthy and when
And
he's
sober.
sober.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When
Yeah.
he's sober,
Yeah.
he's,
Yeah, when
he's
he's
a
healthy,
dangerous
he's
man.
sober.
And if he can just, you know, continue to keep that ball glued instead of all the fumbles that we saw from him last year, but
Yep.
you know.
But he's good when he's right. He's good.
Well, I mean, and the other thing is, I mean, it's a much different feel. I mean, just watching the Broncos this year, it's a much different feel than it was in the past couple of years, just like Von Miller said and other stuff like that. I mean, and when you're around that kind of thing, I think it brings the best out of the players. They're bought in, and you know, I mean, I feel like, I mean, I'm not saying that he's going out there just purposely trying to fumble the ball, but what I'm just saying is like, you know, when you're a part of a losing team and feels like the team's going nowhere, and you know, you pretty much knew that, and it was clear from week 1 that your team was going nowhere. and stuff like that, maybe you care a little bit less if you happen to drop a ball. Oh, what the hell? Who cares? We were losing anyways. You know what I mean? Whereas now it's like, well, hey, we might actually be doing something.
Nobody wants to be that guy.
Yeah, no, exactly. Nobody wants to be the reason why, that drive we cost ourselves because of me. Whereas last year it's like, oh, well, you cost us on a drive? Get in line. There's a long list there.
Yeah, don't point the fingers,
Yeah. So
no, like I said, and I think this is just a totally great thing. And then, like I said, if Judy can come back in 3 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks, he's just going to add more to the puzzle, which will make him even more, of a handful.
No, it's just more hands. They're just scratching the surface on what they might be by the end of the season. I'm really impressed by Denver so far.
Yeah, and and honestly, the scheduling and everything worked out great for them too. They got a little bit of a period of time here where they're like, okay, what do we need to do? What do we need? Is this the right system? Is this the right quarterback? Everything like that. Get a couple weeks to get things ironed out, and then by the time you play, one of the upper echelon teams, you've had a few weeks under your belt to get everybody kind of rolling and comfortable with what's going on and the new look of everything. So, and not only that, but you've got some of the rookies and stuff like that have a few games under their belt as well. Instead of just coming out the gate, hey, let's play the Bucs week 1 or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, this is nice. Yeah. So
I think too, one of the things that I think was huge for them is Von Miller coming back, because with all the off the field shit that happened with him and that, there was some skepticism there whether should he be coming back? This, that, and the other, right? But to come back, and not only just come back, but come back and play the way he's been playing, people are heaping praise for the guy, and how he's not missing a beat.
No.
He looks like,
Bonneville.
Yeah, he looks like the same guy from 3-4 years ago. So, that's solid, and I think that's huge for that defense. He's a huge piece of that. So, is he replaceable? Sure he is, but I just think that's a big piece of the defense being good. Is his presence.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we pretty well dissected all these. We'll save the hour-and-a-half video for the Lions game tomorrow night.
Yeah, and really get into some football.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a play-by-play tomorrow night. So
we're going to be doing the show live.
Live play-by-play. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can see every brick throwing.
Yeah.
Tantrum.
Yeah.
Disappointment. Yeah. Every brick throwing. Exactly.
Every brick throwing play we got.
Every computer smashing play that happens, you'll be seeing it here live. But no, seriously, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. We always enjoy hopping on here, getting upset about our teams, and we really enjoy it when it's actually there's something to be happy about for a change. And thus far this season, it looks like, I don't think it's going to be the same show as it was last year. Maybe for some teams.
But I don't know that my situation's going to change.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, and after for the Eagles, I, kind of had flashbacks as well. But nonetheless, excited to see what happens next week. We got some interesting games. Excited to watch the Lions tomorrow, see what kind of performance they can put on against the Packers. Maybe they can get, another one of those miracles at Ford Field going on and make it happen.
Playing at Ford Field.
Or Lambeau.
Oh, okay. Well, miracle at Lambeau.
So that way Grandpa will be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll probably be at the game.
Yeah, he'll probably be 50-yard line, bottom seat, if he's not on the bench somewhere.
Talking with somebody about the new stadium.
Yeah, you know it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. We'll be sure to bring out some more content, get this out for you guys to check out. If you guys are Broncos fans or Lions fans or Eagles fans or Bengals fans, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We talk about the Bengals, the Broncos, the Lions, the Eagles every single week. Preview, review, trades, signings, firings. Those are the more common ones, but
exactly. More than anything like.
I was gonna say, usually
disappointments.
Usually it's some of the more controversial stuff, because that's usually what our teams are, is one giant controversy. But nonetheless, we talk about sports and our teams all the time. So make sure you subscribe and stay up to date with what we got going on, and how pissed off we are on a scale of 1 to 10 on each of the topics. So with that being said, guys, I'm Bryson.
I'm Steve.
And I'm done.
See you guys in the next video.